table. So if you want to meet different people, then you can do that too. See you guys there. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our beautiful conversation today. Before we start, Charlotte, I think you can hide yourself. Do you think you can manage? Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. This is Impact Collective Fireside Chat. I know some of you guys are familiar with the Impact Collective. We have a lot of our impact makers today, but some of you guys might never heard of what Impact Collective is. So we're just gonna start with a short introduction of Impact Collective today. And while we waiting for other people to join, although we have a lion here today with us, but I will just do a quick intro of Impact Collective and then giving everybody a set up like a tone and the context. So Impact Collective is basically a community-driven investment and accelerator program. And Hashed, one of our guests today, is also LP of our fund. And Impact Collective, what we try to do is basically discovering amazing startups that are doing amazing business and also potential to create a bigger impact in the region and globally. And we want to discover them and we want to connect them with the right people. We're also investing in them. And we're basically building a broader ecosystem of impact a startup in APAC region. And our purpose here is really supporting the founders who are looking to expand their journey either in the business or impact. And we are there to bridging this too. So we have a partner, UFNA, and bringing a lot of other UN agency and then also city mayor network we go to the table. And then we have the ventures from Korea, a startup fund are actually organizing this together as under the name of Impact Collective. Fireside Chat is basically we have a 6 theme, and each themes are basically a really interesting topic like green energy and environment, sustainable agriculture and food, decentralization for all, like today, and the future of work, and economic growth, and then like inclusive health. So there is like different themes. We do have 1 week each theme. So we designate that, and we have a fireside chat and also speed dating with the expert. And then teams are basically here to experience a lot of different things for 9 weeks total. So now we are heading to the end. So you guys will get the invitation of our demo day. So feel free to come and join our community and then keep exploring your journey in impact and startup. I think that's a good introduction of Impact Collective. Myself, my name is Sungho, a partner and just like a mother figure of Impact Collective, and bringing a lot of different people, and also a crypto native. Been here for 10 years. Would love to actually jam more with Ryan today. So we're gonna start the session by introducing a beautiful, like big fan, I'm fangirl of Hashed. So about the fund Hashed, and then the partner Ryan. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you. Introduce myself, or
please, yeah, you okay. And then the Hashed.
Okay. My name is Ryan from Hashed. Hashed is the I think one of the biggest the crypto fund in Asia. And we started from 2016, and we started to invest Bitcoin and Ethereum at the time individually. And 2017 was a crazy year, like with Kimchi Premium. So we decided to make a Hashed, which is the crypto fund here. So now we are building the crypto ecosystem in Korea. And also we have an office in San Francisco and Korea, and we'll establish office in Singapore pretty soon. Now, and also, mostly, we are running a prop fund, but recently we launched first LP fund, and very soon we will launch a second LP fund. So the reason why we build the LP fund is that we want to originate the companies who will invest us to us, and we want to evangelizing the blockchain thesis to the traditional companies. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe the blockchain is perfect technology to provide people get freedom. So I think we can make a synergy between crypto and traditional companies.
Mm.
I'm partner and a co-founder of Hashed, and I really I'm very honored to get this session with Tony.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, the has been just very fast moving and also have a great insight in the crypto scene, especially having hashed in Asia is pretty much lucky for us. I think doing a lot of really bold move into the crypto fund and investment, and also supporting a lot of different teams and ecosystem. And I like Impact Collective, right? So whether you know it or not, Impact Collective is also a blockchain based kind of a DAO sort of like investment platform. So a lot of our action is based on the verification. We're using label and batching system, and also tokenized system for people to vote and also get appreciated in the incentive model. So there's a lot more that we can talk about later, another time probably. But today we want to talk about what's the blockchain and what's the crypto. So a lot of us actually pretty much basic in the crypto world. So Ryan, if you can introduce some of the thing by my leading questions, basically. Yeah. So first question is quite broad. You can just go as much as you want, but the reason why we're doing this is actually planting the seed of the idea of blockchain and crypto for our entrepreneurs and our impact makers here today. So what do you see as the full potential of crypto and blockchain? You can just, get a 1 or 2, 3 points that you like the most. And then why should all entrepreneur actually pay attention? Why do we have to pay attention to this new technology?
Yeah. So no, everybody say the blockchain is the internet of value. So the last decade, like last 2 decades, internet was like one of the biggest innovation for human, and the internet gave people to access information with low cost. That means before internet coming out, people have to pay for getting information. For example, they have to go to a library, and most of the documents are owned by government. So the government can control the information and to manipulate people's thinking and their action. So, but after internet coming out, then people start to make up their own blog and they share their opinion in the internet, and people can make a community in the website. And eventually, I think government was very hard to manipulate and also control the people's thought, and the whole society is getting democratized. And I think blockchain is very similar because blockchain is giving whole infrastructure for value transfer. For example, like there are many banking people in underdeveloped country. For example, in Indonesia, I heard over 80% of people don't have a bank account, and only 1% of people have a credit card. And that means a lot of people have to use unregulated and very poor service for finance. So that is very not secured, and sometimes there is a lot of risk. But blockchain can provide financial service for unbanked people, and the entry barrier is very low. That means most of the people can get their account in blockchain, and that means we can make a huge service in finance sector. So I think last 10 years, many entrepreneurs want to make the fintech company, but I think the blockchain can make with blockchain, they don't need to make the fintech because the blockchain is fintech, and people can make an application on top of blockchain. Then people will use, and people can spend most of the financial service on top of blockchain.
Mm-hmm. And then, what do you see as a crypto like and blockchain investor? And you will probably meet a lot of different teams, right? And what do you think? Like, why do we the startups, especially that are not in blockchain, have to pay attention? What do you see as in the future? Like, this is the future. That's why you have to actually pay attention to it.
Yeah, so we believe, nowadays, most of the startups are internet company, but we don't call internet company, just startup. So like that, within 5 years or 10 years, I think most of the startups will use blockchain because, first of all, market is huge. Second of all, with blockchain, the innovation is much huge. I mean, much bigger than just Web2 company. So the Y Combinator, they expect that within 5 years, 50% of the applied company for Y Combinator will be a crypto company. And also, as you see, if you see this wave of the macro economy, the government is issuing dollars and the currencies, and people losing their belief on the centralized entity. So SEC, the Federal Central Bank, is not a good entity to believe anymore. So I think people are like searching new area they can believe eternally. And I think and also one thing I want to share about that is that the blockchain is new area. That means there's not many experts here. And even though that is a huge company like Facebook or Twitter or like Tesla, they're not expert. That means they're entrepreneurs, and the big tech company has in the same line. They can start in the same line, so then the entrepreneur can compete with the big players. That is a huge sign to get the success for an easy way.
Thank you so much for the explanation, and that totally makes sense. It's super exciting space. So you mentioned a Web2 in one of your line, and then we talking a lot about Web3 this day, but like a lot of us probably don't know what exactly Web3 means. So if you can give us like an easy explanation of Web3, and then what are the difference between Web2 and Web3 in a very short explanation would be amazing.
Yeah, I think the blockchain, I don't need to explain all the feature of the blockchain, but the thing is that the important thing is that the Web3 is anyone can access the network without any permission. So if you see the most of the source in blockchain project, they are running this project with open source, especially in GitHub, and that means anyone can access, anyone can participate, and anyone can find out the error code. So the cycle of the innovation is much faster than the closed company and closed code, and no one can block you as well. No one can block you or deny you access to the service. So I think the Web3, we have to like focus on the openness of the Web3. And another thing is censorship resistant. That means, if you see the Web3, Web2 service like a Facebook or Google, most of the data is stored in the centralized server. And if Google and Facebook turn off the server, then everyone will lose their access to internet or their service, and also the data as well. But in Web3 is running on blockchain. That means even though one server is turned off, but the rest of the server is the running all time in different space. That means people can use permanently. So I think those two features are very important, and I think the fork, everyone can fork the code. That is also very important. For example, like even though in Web2, someone think the Facebook, the architecture or fee structure is really bad, but people cannot get out because Facebook is not easy to copy. But in the blockchain world, if the Bitcoin is not fair and someone is getting fee unfairly, then people can fork out. So that's why there's a Bitcoin, but there's a Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond, etc. So people can fork out, and they can formulate another community with people agree on. So I think they can make a lot of innovation because they have to compete each other, and eventually, if one win, then they will invite more people to their ecosystem. So all the competition is very free, and Web2 company cannot copy this way of innovation.
Totally. I love that the last sentence that, like that the way of innovation is actually the key of blockchain. And then you mentioned a lot of like the people in your words, and actually it's a freedom for us to create whatever we want to create. And then also not alone, but with it together as a community. So I think community is a big part of a blockchain ecosystem and moving forward. And that's super excited. Awesome. Yeah, and today actually the topic of our conversation is around the digitalization for equal opportunity. Web2 also like brought us a lot of like, equal opportunity in terms of like access in a way. But now moving to Web3, I think we are kind of entering in a completely different level of equity. So if you can share, this can be quite a difficult and heavy question, but when we talk about a digital equity, and then that can be translated in many different ways, but you can speak your own words. In what way do you think crypto and blockchain is creating more opportunity for the in global ecosystem or humanity in some sense, and in what way actually also is creating the greater kind of inequality, so there's a lot of debation, but I want to also cover like a pro and also not pro kind of perspective.
I think that is there's pros and cons, but blockchain is a huge infrastructure for everyone. Like I said, every person can join to blockchain without any cost, and but they have to pay for internet. But anyway, the entry barrier is really low, And I think infrastructure is really important. For example, like in Korea or in US, there are like insurance, medical insurance is one of the infrastructure. So if medical insurance is really good, then people think the country is really good to live like that. For example, or electricity. If electricity is really easy to access and cost is low, then people can use that electricity to make something like every kinds of product or every kind of service like that. The blockchain is kind of infrastructure. So in terms of equality, if people can use that infrastructure with low cost, then this fact is that the blockchain is making equality for everyone because people can use with same cost. But at the same time, in the governance nowadays, to make a decision like a company board member vote for making decision about the company. So in the blockchain community, they're making a governance system, governance protocol, and most of the governance protocol nowadays is that the user who has more token can get a more like voting power. uh, that means no. If I have much money, then I can make more influence in the governance. So if you think in the democratic country, this is very easy to manipulate, easy to abuse the democracy system because no, the rich guy can control everything. But I think, like I mentioned, the people can leave the country. If you think a country wise, I don't want to live in Korea, but it's very not easy to leave Korea because the transition cost and visa issue and everything is very hard to get. But in the blockchain system, very easy to live and easy to make new blockchain ecosystem. So even though the rich people can control all the ecosystem, if people don't like it, the mass people don't like the system, don't like the governance system, and they think that the governance is not fair, then they can fork and they can make a new system. And if the new system is much proper than the previous system, then people will join to that system. And if that system get big, then the this early participants, early contributors can be successful. So yeah, I think there's still a lot of problem about inequality in blockchain, but I think with this innovation, with this a lot of tries, and it will get fixed. And if that's this if is this kind of tries is are going on continuously, then eventually it will make a better system for in terms of equality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we are definitely in a quite exciting transition, right? And so there's a lot of try and error that is coming out as we try. And I mean, the system can't be perfect from the beginning on it. We are not actually here to create a perfection, but like, try to make a better solution with the technology that we're using. So that's, I think, where we're going. And, there's a lot of like different concerns about like environmental effect and all that. And then like if you have that question, by the way, the audience, you can do your own research, and that there's a lot of great article that is supporting what's the fact. So if you're concerned about that, have a look at it and do your own research. And yeah, there's a lot of still questions since the cryptocurrency is the value of exchange. And one thing that I really like about crypto and blockchain is actually, no, like a money doesn't represent everything what we create, all the values. And in our current system, money is kind of everything, but in blockchain system, there is a lot of way that we can actually capture, a different way of contribution to the society and the community, and that can be tokenized and instead of using money, right? So that's like super interesting, and we still need to do a lot of like practices and behavior changes and mindset shifting, but that's gonna come, as you said, after all this transition is done or still going away. Yeah. All right, and moving on to the next question. I lost my question sheets, but yeah, as we speak about the digitalization for all and equal opportunity, what are the maybe three or three to four area that you are like most excited, and also you think that okay, this sector or this industry can make huge impact utilizing crypto and blockchain? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, so nowadays, if you see the blockchain, definitely one big thing which is making innovation is finance. Finance is, I think, everything for base layer. If you fix the whole finance layer, then you can make on top of this finance layer. So if from 2018, the DeFi, decentralized finance, is getting a lot of attention. And the first project was a stablecoin, MakerDAO. And the MakerDAO is making a stablecoin which is pegging to USD with collateralized loan. And definitely the asset, the backed by, the stablecoin backed by Ether. And I think this make a lot of innovation because before that DeFi, everyone curious about the volatility of Bitcoin. How we can use Bitcoin with that volatility, but eventually, we nowadays all crypto natives recognize Bitcoin as a crypto asset. I mean, digital asset, not currency, and rather the people using USD than Bitcoin. That means the utility token is a USD, and we recognize tokens as like equity or a bond, something like that. So if after we divide the stable coin and the governance token, then most of the investor invest into a governance token rather than stable coin. And I think after innovating the finance sector, then a lot of sectors will come to this market, but especially I think the contents area and the metaverse, those are a huge thing because if we can make a economy and if we can make a daily earning from internet, then we can live there. We can live in Roblox. We can live in Minecraft, even though we don't have a job in real world. And already, people are earning a lot of money from game. For example, recently Axie Infinity is getting a lot of people, and the monthly income of median people in Philippines is $300 to $400. But if you pay play game in Axie, then you can earn $800. So that's why a lot of people are playing game, and nowadays Axie Infinity is getting huge traction. Like their weekly revenue is around 80 million. With that, Yeah, it's crazy. With that, I think this game made a lot. That means a lot of Filipino and Vietnamese are making huge amount of money from playing game, and their income is getting higher, and they made a lot huge market. With that, a lot of P2E, play to earn games are coming out from Southeast Asia. So this cycle make very fast innovation, and eventually, they invite the huge U.S. investor as well, such as A16Z, Sequoia Capital, USB, something like the huge fund. So they put a lot of money into this game. Then economy works, and now that we are investing to many Vietnamese game as well. So I think a game and metaverse sector is number two, and number three is all the real world stuff. But real world the business is very slow. So I think the payment layer is very important. So off ramp, on ramp. So crypto to fiat, fiat to crypto. This is very important layer because we can bring this innovative power from crypto to real world. So we are exploring that kind of company nowadays.
Super interesting. Yeah, follow-up questions, or maybe we can have like another chat at some point. But like a lot of people might questioning, like, if everybody playing game, who's gonna take care of the real life, and how does that the life economic works? Do you have any thoughts on that? Like,
so you mean how the who will pay for that game? You mean that?
like, for example, like Filipino, like my father is, for example, playing XE, and they do
Mm-hmm.
the play to earn, and but there is like some work to be done to really sustain the society in some level. Like, for example, like let's say the 80% of workforce move to metaverse, and
Mm-hmm.
there's not enough people actually working in a restaurant or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's like a really interesting question and dilemma. But do you have any thought? I mean, there's no answer. I know that, but like, yeah, what do you think?
Mm-hmm. Um, very, yeah. I think if they can make money, then it's easy to bring the resource from outside. For example, like Singapore, they made the GDP is huge, and Malaysia, they bring a lot of workers from Malaysia, and I think it's all about economy. So if you can make if I make a semiconductor to make money, then I can buy the wine from Chile. So if you need the workforce, then you can accept the immigrants. I think that is, and also if you make a lot of money, then you can pay that money to restaurant, and the pay the salary of the waiter will get high. Then everything is matching, fitting the demand and supply. So demand is going up, and people want to get better quality of their life. Then people will pay, and their income from actually is double up from the previous job. Then they can pay more, and waiter can. Yeah, I think that cycle will go on and go on and go on.
Gotcha. So it's like it's overflowing to, and then it will kind of feed other layer of the society, and then at the end it will kind of benefit for everyone at some point. Eh?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, cool. Yeah, and we already talked about XE, and and they're doing amazing job in the Philippines and Vietnam, and then you also mentioned that you're like looking into the Vietnamese company. But what are the difference that you see in like a type of projects based in Asia versus like other world? For
mm,
example,
mm, mm,
Western versus Eastern. Yeah. Do you see any
mm.
difference?
Yeah, we're investing many companies in different continents. For example, 50% of our portfolio are in US, and if you see the US project, most of the projects are infrastructure project. For example, like scalability or like privacy or like data layer or like marketplace. A lot of the big infrastructures are made by US companies because they have a very good talents there. No, nowadays, no, the crypto company is getting a lot of money, so they can pay a lot to Facebook developer or Google developer and to bring that good talent to crypto. And I think with that, they can source a lot of good resource. And the other one is there are huge fund there like Sequoia, A16Z, many hedge funds and P funds, and even the companies are getting in. So the funding is good. That means they can make a very good environment for sustaining their entity for a long time. That means to make an infrastructure, you know, it needs a lot of money at the beginning. But if
Mm-hmm.
after that they build all the infrastructure and the lifelong is quite getting long. But in Asian market, it's a little bit fragmented. Like for example, China, Korea, Japan, and SEA and India. Those five parts are a little bit fragmented. China is a little bit, apart from the rest of the country, and Korea is more like very similar to US because every the policy and the economy is following US market, but SEA is making their own ecosystem, and
Mm.
also nowadays we are investing to many SEA companies and India companies. So the I think because of Axis success, a lot of game companies and guilds and applications are coming out, but mostly game, I think. And they have
Mm.
a mass, like I mentioned, there are mass there. For example, like the company named the Coin98, they're like a mobile wallet service in Vietnam. They have a 700,000 people users there, and that is a huge number of huge number among the crypto services. Compared to Web2 companies, it's a small, but in crypto, very huge.
Mm.
Uh, and also, I think the reason why that they're jumping into crypto is that, like I mentioned, there's not there's a lot of unbanked people there, and they skip the whole finance layer and jump into crypto, like China jump into mobile and skip the PC era because no mobile is perfect. Mobile is better than PC to distribute. So I think that with that characteristic, a lot of the SCA companies they're trying to provide the application layer. India market is more like they're the English speaking country, and the top tier talents are very well linked into US market. So valuation is a little bit low, but a lot of US funds directly investing to Indian companies. So very the company seems very similar to US market. So a lot of infrastructure is going on in India, and also a lot of DeFi projects are coming out from India. Korea is like very unique. But I believe Korea is perfect for content area. Like you imagine like a K-pop, drama, movie, game, and a lot of the creative energies are coming out from Korean market, but they don't know much context about crypto. So we want to be positioned as a bridge between a crypto market and Korean traditional companies. And we want to bring like for example like BTS to crypto. We want to bring like a Squid Game to crypto, something like that.
Oh wow, it's super interesting. Thank you so much for sharing, your insight around the different market. I was curious because it's really hard to hear, what's really happening in each market. But that was super helpful, and it does make sense that everyone and every country, especially in Asia, have a different kind of like approach to it. And then it seems like, like in South Asia, because the pain is bigger, it seems like crypto started taking up as a kind of somewhat mainstream, and the people take this as a main solution and then solving their own life problem, which is actually basically uh, decentralization for equal opportunity. Yeah, so this is really interesting point. And then, a little bit more about hash, like crypto and blockchain, actually the whole ecosystem somewhat disrupt the traditional VC, and then is shaping um, definitely a new perspective for a lot of traditional VC and investors, and even whole financial system. To be honest, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you see? A few interesting points that you already made, but if you want to highlight a few of that, what do you see that change? And then what do you see hashed in 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
What's your kind of a vision? Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, if you see the Korean VC market and also global VC market, a lot of money is flowing in to startup market. Like VCs are getting very hard for this competition. Like for example, like individual investors are very heavily investing to crypto. So VC have to compete with individual investor, which is influencer or like huge reputable investor. And also, now there's a PE and hedge funds are coming in. So like, for example, like $40 billion AUM hedge funds are investing to crypto projects. So we are competing with them. And I think VCs are, they have to evolve very fast. We think the current VC system will be, mostly extinct because they are no the differentiation is not that much. So ourselves, we think we have to evolve ourselves. So we help the entrepreneur a lot, and not even just connecting people to our network. Like heavily we want to make a lot of the resources. For example, like in the crypto. It is totally different from the traditional startup because if they make a token, then token will be listing to exchange, and the liquidity providing is one of the issue, and treasury management is one of the issue, and they have to go around the each country partners, and we have to engage them to the local partners as well and exchange relations. A lot of stuff are they have to achieve, and also the metrics of the success is very complicated. So we want to empower that resource to help entrepreneur, and and also Hash the vision is expanding from VC to other things. For example, like recently we made unopened, which is a company builder. Um, the reason why I made this is that no, we as BC we can get a lot of context of crypto, but crypto is very not easy to catch the context because every day the information is flowing in, and 24 hours is not enough time to catch all the context of the crypto. And imagine you're working on certain the startup, then the time is not enough to time is always not enough. So we want to make highlights and very core insights, and wanna share that insight to entrepreneur. And so we want to collaborate with the entrepreneur. That's why we made the company builder. For example, like if someone have a very good talents in terms of making a good product, but they don't have enough information about the market and network, then we can make a synergy between our resource and their resource. That's unopened. And the other part is we made a trading team, and because in crypto, trading is one of the big components. And like I mentioned, treasury management and market making, liquidity providing, and the engaging with exchanges, those are very important for all crypto projects. So we made that part, and we want to make a all-in-one platform, not only just putting money in like other BC, but we want to help with our whole group. And we call this a hashed community. So we bring an entrepreneur and the external investor. Like that's why we made the LP fund. So our LPs can help the entrepreneur. Like this is very similar to other VC, but with this community, we will bring more like the developers or designers or like a lot of resources to this community. And even though we don't we don't invest, if they can mingle in our community, they can make a new project. They can make a creative project as well. So that's our vision. Within 2 to 3 years, we have to make.
Super exciting. Yeah, I've been following the unopened, and then I have a few projects I want to introduce you guys.
Sounds good.
And yeah, and then trading and community part we don't even have to talk about, because that's not exactly what Impact Collective does. Basically, bring a lot of different stakeholders and player in one place, and that they can help each other, and then partnering each other, building builders, and so on. I would love to actually learn more about the community part, and then if there is anything that we can do together, that would be exciting. And then building like social impact, and then crypto blockchain. It's like sounds like a dream. One follow-up question. It can be tricky. It wasn't on the questionnaire, but I'm super interested in DAO. For people who doesn't know what DAO is, like a decentralized autonomous organization. It's basically a community driven, a lot of like shared ownership, and then there's a lot of different action utilizing token. I mean, similar to Impact Collective, but anyway. So the DAO has been quite a big topic recently. I think there will be still continue to be one of the important parts of blockchain ecosystem, and a lot of DAOs, they not majority, but like they will be in the future, will be sharing the ownership with a lot of different individuals in the community. As a VC, I don't know if you will be interested in. I mean, I don't know if the crypto fund or investors are interested in investing in DAOs, or how do you deal with a company that are sharing like ownership with a lot of different people, and that doesn't have a normal cap table, or would you approach that?
Yeah, so definitely no, we are very interested into DAO, and our vision is make hashed DAO. Yeah, so that is our vision. So definitely we want to make any we want to make any help if that is helpful for DAO, and I think but a DAO is very early stage, so I'm participating one DAO, but it needs a lot of resource if that is time zone is different, and gathering people in the same space, even though that is a digital space, but that is very the community cost is very high. So still, I think experimental phase, but eventually they will find the perfect shape of DAO, and I think now this point is a very experimenting the a lot of the making tools for DAO. So we are looking at some projects to make the tools such as income distribution for DAO, or voting system for DAO, or like Carta system for DAO, something like that. But
Mm,
still, no, but very exploring stage. So yeah, if someone has a good solution for DAO, then we'll definitely want to talk with them.
mm. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, there is a lot of homework for every people who is in the crypto and blockchain. There is something to learn, something to go deeper every day and every time. Uh, so quite a rabbit hole.
Mhm.
Yeah, one there's a lot of questions coming up from the audience, but one last question that I'm gonna put it out there is that, you know, now the impact makers would think, okay, that sounds interesting, crypto, blockchain, and all of that. And I am doing something that are not Web3, yeah, but maybe there is a potential for me to build on blockchain and crypto. So, what would be your advice for the entrepreneur and founder who are thinking,
Mhm.
uh, not building the new technology, but like kind of transiting their Web 2 business to Web 3, and what would be your advice on that? And your advice might be like, don't do it, just build something new. But what would be your advice?
Yeah, so with our LP fund, we are investing to many Web2 projects, but our thesis that the company wise and also entrepreneur wise, if they have a will to move to crypto, then we help them to grow in the crypto space, and
Mm,
and that is our one of the thesis. For example, like we invested in GreenNets, which is an agriculture service. They're growing really fast in the agriculture space. Their market share in Korea is over 40% now, and the agriculture, all the logistics are not transparent. So eventually they want to upload all the data of logistics to blockchain, and also they want to connect the system to um, the external network as well. And we are helping them to connect the crypto and blockchain. And I think if your project, your service is similar to platform or like a network or community, I think this is very easy to adapt crypto and blockchain to your service. So first of all, I think you have to find a very good partner like us or Impact Collective, and getting a lot of advice from them, and then I think that that'll be very helpful. And in crypto, the spirit is a little bit different from Web2 because everything is open source and everything is a collaborative. So, um, rather, I mean, collaboration is better than competition. So,
Mhm.
because every block is like a Lego block, so people can use existing components to make a new service. And if the new service can give inspiration for people, then even though that is very similar to other projects, then but they have a new feature, then they can get a lot of traction. So with that spirit, I my advice is that be collaborative and be help each other and make things together.
Beautiful advice and very useful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering all these hard, deep questions. Yeah, we have a few more questions from the audience. I will just gonna read up for you. If Martha, you can pin that on the screen, that would be amazing. I'm gonna start from the bottom, from Cecile's questions. How do you see transition of blockchain, and which industry will move first and which will be the last?
Mm. Yeah, definitely finance. Like I know way on a lot of many times. And if you see the FX, like for example, like if you send the money from your domestic bank to like for example U.S. bank, it move several steps. I mean, you have to go through several steps, and it takes like several days, and the fee is like over 5% to 7%. But in crypto, it needs just several seconds, and the fee is minimal, and it can be used in the like every application if you have a private key. So finance is one of the key part. And if you imagine after finance is getting into blockchain, then blockchain the one important keyword is composability. Composability means every application and every infrastructure can be composable, and on top of a finance layer and the logistics and the medical and security and the social network contents and metaverse game, every application can be deployed on top of finance. And if you see the finance sector can make a huge influence to people's behavior. And so after finance come in, then rest of the industry will adapt blockchain very fast because the speed of the adoption is much faster than Web2 business.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to be the last moving parts?
Last moving part, government.
Yeah, there is that lead to our next question. Kane Lee asks, like, decentralization is inevitable with the acceleration of decentralization, but contradict government's objective. What do you think are the major milestone and hurdle we will need to overcome to enable crypto is widely acceptable by public or could be government? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, governments is quite tricky part. I think some governments are. I think that most of governments not will not be happy about crypto. Like poor country to rich country. But if you see the U.S. is moving really fast now. U.S. is opening for crypto, especially Bitcoin. SEC just approved the Bitcoin ETF, and most of the states are opening up for low policy about crypto, and I think they're realize crypto and blockchain technology is the key for keeping their influence and their power in the world. So I think that using is moving fast, but in other hands, China is moving differently because blockchain and crypto is making a lot of problem, including money laundering and fraud, and everything is not in control. So this is totally different way from Chinese government way. And I think Korea and other countries like SEA, India, definitely they will join to crypto adoption, because economy is the most important part in every country. And for example, if people can get money, if people can make money from this industry, then there's no reason to block them. Like the China is totally different because they want to block the people's freedom. But in the democracy country, the top priority of the people is financial freedom, and I think that will come after realizing the crypto and blockchain is important.
Yeah, I mean, if I can add a little bit, I think the adoption will come when we solve the biggest inconvenience for people, and as we build huge infrastructure, starting with the DeFi and the finance system, and then I think the adoption is a matter of time rather than it's going to happen or not. I think. Yeah, cool. And then the next question is from Leeds. He's based in Cambodia, by the way. And is blockchain relevant to the old businesses? Good question. We are supplying a tap water to last mile communities in rural Cambodia. How can we capitalize on this? That's the question.
I think you can decentralize the last mile the logistic, I guess. So you have to hire people to carry that tap water to the certain community, and a lot for that you have to hire that certain amount of people. But if you make a decentralized logistic system, then you can broadly provide the new type of business in terms of logistics. So I think for a specific purpose, the making decentralized network is a little bit too much. But if you think that make a huge network for logistic or huge network for providing water, then decentralized network is much efficient than a centralized system. For example, like in the logistics, if the car driver or the bike driver was dead, or something happened, then you have to hire someone new, and it takes some period. Then the centralized system can be jammed. But if someone can join to network permissionlessly, then even though someone got out from the network, then you can source new person to cover that job. Then the network can be learned without any problem.
Yeah,
I'm not sure it's the right answer for you.
I think one of the things that they can apply is micro payment, basically, right? Because like probably people who are buying this tap water from the company, they might not use like tons of water that is probably not expensive for us, but expensive for them, and utilizing maybe a crypto payment system to make like a micro payment as they spend or as they use, and a lot of different way of also utilizing maybe a rural community to make sure that tab area is well kind of cleaned and then managed in a way that you can give incentive to these people and so on. So there's a lot of way that I think the lease your particular business can utilize it. Yeah, thank you. And then next question is any impact of quantum computing on blockchain technology?
Yeah, a lot of the people raised this issue like several years ago. So quantum computing, if quantum computing coming out, then the security of the Bitcoin can be insecure. But I believe, I think I don't have an answer for that because quantum computing is not coming yet. But yeah, definitely, we can think about this issue. And people, I met some of the entrepreneurs who want to figure out this issue. And if you think about the one node can calculate all the problem of Bitcoin, and if they can win every block, then definitely Bitcoin can be in trouble. But I believe at the time the competing each other with the quantum computer, like one node have their own quantum computer, other nodes have their own quantum computer, then they can compete each other because their spec is very similar. So that's my thought, but no one has a solution yet.
Thank you for answering. Yeah, then the next question is from our last cohort, Thomas. Do international business need to incorporate multiple crypto instruments per national or regional market, or is there a good single like global regional crypto instrument?
What means instrument, like application or?
Yeah, that's my question. Thomas, are you there? If you're there, feel free to speak about what do you mean by instrument? Is he here? He might not be here anymore. Oh yeah, there he is. Martha, can we invite him to the stage? There he is.
Hello. Hi guys, how are you?
Good.
It's loading at the moment. I think he's calling from South America, Africa, actually.
So yeah, before the video comes
Very
in, I'll
slow.
just go ahead.
Or while he's joining, maybe we can move on to the next question. And then, oh yeah, there he is. Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Sungho Lee. How are you? Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
Good. Do you wanna ask a question yourself?
Well, absolutely. So when we're looking at global operations between various continents in the world, how do we want to strategize our crypto payment offering, both from a business to government, business to business, and business to consumer standpoint. I've got a business. We provide decentralized water and wastewater treatment and distribution systems. So think micro utilities. So we have a whole host of different revenue streams and payment options for consumers. Yeah, what's a good strategy with integrating crypto payments? Is it with one single instrument, or are we going to be working on a regional instrument?
Yeah. To answer that question, recently, there are many payment services like MoonPay or like Simplex Internet, and with a Visa card, you can buy a crypto. After getting into crypto, then you can transfer to other country, other company or individual. But like I mentioned, off-ramp and on-ramp is very important, and there are a lot of companies are figuring out that payment solution. So to answer your question, you can use just one, but I'm not sure that they can provide a service in Africa, because the African off-ramp and on-ramp is very important, and they have to provide in the local market. So you have to check that they're operating in that local market. Then if they can provide, then you can use that. But definitely there are many choices. You can search.
Okay, great. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, and then thank you, Ryan, for staying with us for this long. There are a few more questions. We have a 15 more minutes to go. So people, if you have a last burning question, please put it on the Q&A. We're gonna probably gonna answer another 2-3, and that will be it. So the next question from Mayor: how do you think the crypto industry today is thinking about its environmental impact? And there are a few efforts, but do you see the whole industry addressing this big challenges?
Yeah, so there are two type of algorithm. One is POS, and the thing is POC, proof of stake, and proof of work, POW. I just forgot the word, but anyway, the Bitcoin is running on top of a POW algorithm, and Ethereum is currently a POW algorithm. Those two cryptocurrencies are the top two in crypto market. So I think definitely people are concerning about that. And POW is getting absorbing a lot of electricity, and because they have to learn the CPU, and that needs a lot of electricity. But POS system is the next algorithm. Most of the projects, most of the blockchains are carrying on, and even Ethereum, it has a plan to move into a POS algorithm. POS algorithm is much efficient than POW, because they're more like voting system rather than consuming electricity. So it's just running one computer. That's all. So after if the POS system is becomes like major in this market, then I think environment impact will be minimal. But still, Bitcoin is POW, and Bitcoin will not change to POS. So still, I think people think the Bitcoin is quite. I don't know. I think still have a problem in terms of environment, but compared to like other countries consuming the electricity with other reason, then still Bitcoin is very minimal. And if you see the research, then like renewable electricity makers are, making money from the mining Bitcoin. Most of the renewable energy company cannot make money, but with Bitcoin, they can make a sustainable. So I think different reason. I think many Bitcoiners provide contributing contributing for renewable energy industry as well.
Good, wise answer for that. Yeah, we're getting a lot of these questions when we talk with the publics, and yeah, good answer. I'm learning here as well. Yeah, and then we have another question from Nepal. Their business called Veda is running amazing education platform in Nepal, and the millions of people using the solution. So he just asked quite a vague questions, but how do you see blockchain disrupting education?
Already, I know. I think there's a two part. The education has, for example, not education, like school. School has two parts. One is the contents, education contents. The other part is community. Contents already, contents is information. So already the Web2 companies are disrupting current education company, but community part is not still there yet. So people has a relationship in the school and getting know each other and feels they're feels like being in the same group and feel like safe and relief from that. Because I think people have to want to get into a certain community, which is precious. And blockchain can give that kind of community stuff. So if people have Axie Infinity community and they're making a lot of money from that, and they can make a community. And in the Axie Infinity community, there's some skills there. And people in the real world, if people learn how to make the house, or how to make the manufacturer, or how to make the food, then they can make money and they can take a role in the real world. But in the digital world, the whole job is different, right? So in the metaverse, if there's a job, then I can get into the metaverse and I can work there. That is play in the P2E game. But anyway, so they can make their own community. So, for example, they have to learn the making food in the metaverse? No. So some part of education is not needed anymore, and some part will be more needed. So I think depending on the economy, if you have to learn the deep learning or AI for getting a job easily, then you have to learn, right? So I think the whole education will follow the economy, because that means the demand of people, and people can have to learn for fit the demand. So blockchain is very easy to find the demand and supply, because all data is transparent, and if people can find the right demand from the metaverse or real world, whatever, then I think education can fit to that demand.
Thank you. Yeah, very interesting thoughts. Yeah, and I think we don't have enough time, but let's keep moving on to the question. We have a 10 more minute. Like try to cover as much as we can. Any idea how blockchain can help charity, nonprofit, or nonprofit fundraising?
Yeah, that's recent my thought about charity. No, I think Hash have to make a charity brand, because No, the Earth has a limited resource, and we need the right governance system. And as hashed community to make this Earth sustainable, we need to make the right governance system for whole human and community in real world. So that I think my thinking, my thought about charity is more like a making right system for the world. So blockchain is I think that blockchain can provide the most favorable system in the history. So the one thing, the important part is the charity. If you think the all the charity group, we cannot see the payment toward their balance sheet or the all the money movement of the charity fund. We need to check they don't get a huge amount of fee or huge amount of the income from that fund. So I think blockchain can contribute that way, and the other part is governance. So uh, we can make a decision together with voting system or fair governance system to provide that money or to provide the resource to the most needed the market or society or community. I think the governance system would be perfect for a charity.
Mm, yeah, thank you for the answer. And Lillian, one of the projects I'm working on is also working with World Vision, which is the biggest like a humanitarian organization. We particularly working with the World Vision Korea to actually utilizing blockchain technology to track the donation and also as Ryan mentioned, we're utilizing community and governance to so individuals can actually make decision where they're going to spend that money and then which value or which action they want to create based on the value they are believing. Yeah, happy to chat more. It's called Vake, VAKE.io. It's in Korean right now, but you can I can send you more information in English later. Yeah, Coolio. I think we only have 8 minutes to go. I mean, this platform will just gonna shut automatically and move to networking. So I'm just gonna choose one interesting question about NFT because we didn't mention much about it. So Josep's question: how are you guys, which is hashed, approaching the NFTs, and what's your strategy as a fund in getting involved in the fast growing space?
Mm, mm, mm. Right. NFT is a very interesting system. Yeah, definitely. At the beginning, everybody's saying like NFT is bubble, but I think people want to get a unique to express their own. So now there's a PFP, which is a perfect picture, is getting a lot of traction. For example, like CryptoPunk or BAYC, Cricket, and etc. A lot of the PFP is now they're selling a lot of PFP to user, and users are aggregating, like gathering PFP as many as they can. That's like one of the like how can I say, like luxury goods nowadays. And I think the PFP wise, PFP is something like like ticket for community. For example, like if I have a one CryptoPunk, then I can make a same feeling with a CryptoPunk holder, and there's a Discord community, and there's a people can access to certain community. You have to have a CryptoPunk, at least one CryptoPunk. So we think NFT can work as a ticket, and this is very similar to other luxury goods. If you have a Louis Vuitton bag, then oh, she is the same quality, same type of person, like something like that. Feels like a family through common goods. So I think NFT works that way, and that is kind of the tools to make a community. So if you if you keep something same as others, then we can talk a lot of things through that. We can push that more valuable together in the Twitter shout out, and we can be together. So this is very similar to Bitcoin holders. You have a one Bitcoin, I have a one Bitcoin, and we can be a family. So this is very similar because all about economy and community. So something like that. If that is that NFT can give more inspiration and more give new features for formulating the community, then we are investing to that company. And NFT wise, we are recently we are setting up the strategy to invest many type of NFT like CryptoPunk and BAYC and other type of PFP, which are making a good community inside.
Gotcha. So you guys are actively investing in the NFTs as well as a project. Yeah. Cool. There are a few more good questions. I'm a little bit afraid that we don't have enough time, but Ryan, if you have maybe 15 more minute extra, we will, after 5 minutes of this session, we will move to networking, and then there will be a table for you ready, set up, and people can come and ask questions, and we can cover some of these questions. I think there's one last question that I would like to put it out here that Aaron asked. For cross-border payment to move on blockchain crypto, there has to be, made addition globally. What is made? I didn't get it, but yeah, what would be your advice to companies to navigate the problem of made addition? What would that be? Did you get it?
Mass adoption.
Mass adoption. Sorry, to be mass adoption globally, else a value provision should be regional. So, what would your advice to a company to navigate this problem? Basically, to increase adoption for B2B payment system.
B2B. I think recently, for example, to invest certain company, for us, we are using not traditional payment system, but we are investing to project with USDC or USDT, which is a stable coin, because that is much faster than get through the traditional payment system. And if the counterparty accept that, we can invest with stablecoin, and also we can record that. We can keep the record with we transferring the stablecoin to them. So I think with mass adoption of the crypto, and also the tax issue is fixed, then the many institutions will adopt the crypto payments very soon, even B2B payments as well.
Coolio. Yeah, we have 2 more minutes. So I think, you know what, before we disperse, we might move to the networking, but some of you guys have to go. So before we ending, thank you so much for your time, Ryan. And how can we stay connect with the Hashed or you, and what would be the good way to engage with you guys?
Um, yeah, I'm always open, in Telegram or any context. So, you know, I think always if you can send a message and I can answer. That is one of the connection. And also, if you stay in the thinking about crypto and you have any question about crypto, then anytime I'm ready to answer. So feel free to contact me.
Thank you so much. And it was really insightful, personally, and I think our community benefit a lot. And this actually opens up a lot of questions for us. So happy to stay connect, and thank you so much for support. And super excited for you and Hash in the future. Thank you everybody for joining today. We will be moving to the networking session after this, and you can find Ryan, and then we can cover some of the questions that we haven't answered here. Or you can meet IC crew, or you can just go and chat with other people in the